Also, thank you to Ira Grossman. Where's Ira? Who sponsored this morning's breakfast in memory of the Ilui Nishmas, his father, Melech Ben Yisrael. We hope that on the merit of the brachos, the merit of the additional simchas yom tov that comes about through this beautiful suda that Yisrael should have an aliyah. I was also asked to announce that there are still breakfast sponsorships available for the rest of Chol Hamoed. It's $250 to be the full sponsor, $100 to be co-sponsors. So you can see Saeed or Ari if you are interested in participating. So today's daf is Pei Dalet. The great Schostei Mertz, we're going to finish one parak, begin another parak. So Pei Dalet 84, we're going to pick up the last two lines of Pei Gimel Amud Beis 80b. So the Gemara says, fine. So the Gemara now is going through the list of the Brisa, and the Brisa discussed the various individuals, the various Kohanim, who are not permitted to go ahead and engage in Avodah. Or I should say, who because of their particular state, the Avodah is possible. So the Gemara says, Aval Orel, Yonein Yoshe Bas Hara. So we'll say, however, again, if a Kohen is an Orel, uncircumcised, Onein, which refers to the period between death and burial, Yoshe does the Avodah sitting down. So all of these individuals, again, are in violation of an Asar, in violation of a Lav. So the Gemara now goes through this entire list. Aral Minala, how do we know that an Aral is not permitted to do the Avodah? So the truth is, this is not the Mefurish Pasuk in the Torah. So we didn't see this in the Torah, in Moshe Rabbeinu. So let's say, first of all, just to understand the incredible Moshe Rabbeinu, it's called Torah's Moshe Rabbeinu. I mean, it's my Torah, it's your Torah, it's all of our Torahs, but Chazal don't identify it as Torah's Moshe Rabbeinu. We don't know this from Torah Moshe Rabbeinu, rather, Ad Sheba Yecheskel ben Buzi v'Laban. So Yecheskel went ahead and taught us this Yisod. From where did Yecheskel teach us that if a Kohen does the Avodah as an Orel, the Avodah is possible? So the pasuk says, "Kol benechar Orel leiv va'Orel basar lo yavo el mikdashi l'sharasini." Because the pasuk ultimately says in Yecheskel Perek Mendalid, Yecheskel says, "Kol benechar Orel leiv va'Orel basar." So Yecheskel, of course, over here is giving Musar to Klal Yisrael, and he's saying anyone. Thank you, Father. Anyone who's an Ara Lev and an Ara Basra, uncircumcised heart, uncircumcised flesh, cannot come and do the Avodah. So from here we see that a Kohen who's an Ara can't do the Avodah, and if he does so, again, it's not punishable by Nisa, it's not punishable by death, but it is punishable by a Lav. So the Gemara goes right there. Onein Minavan. What about a Onein? How do I know that a Onein, someone between the period of death and burial, can't do the Avodah, and if he does so, ultimately he's punishable by a Lav? So we'll say this is actually very interesting. This is by the Kohen Gadol. You know, the halach is by the Kohen Gadol. Kohen Gadol is makriv only. So the pasuk says, even if the Kohen Gadol suffers an immediate loss, chas v'shalom, he's not allowed to leave the Beis Hamikdash, and he may not profane the Mikdash of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So the idea over here is what we see, that a Kohen Gadol is not permitted to go ahead and not do the Avodah no matter what. He can't leave the Beis Hamikdash. What do we see from here? So we'll say it's only the Kohen Gadol who, if he leaves, profanes the Beis Hamikdash. Everyone else, if they suffer a loss, if they become an onim, how are they machala? How do they profane the Beis Hamikdash? What? If they stay. So from here you see that a Kohen can't go ahead and do the Avodah while he's in onim. If he does so, he is in violation of a lav. Amarli Rav Acha l'Rava. So Rav Acha says to Rava, Amarli Rav Ada l'Rava. I don't understand. V'neilif chilul mitshuma. Why don't we make a gzera shav? Rav say of chilul from truma. Rav say that this is talking about a kohen who eats truma in a state of tuma. What's the halacha? If a kohen goes in and eats truma in a state of tuma, it's a din of misa. Kohen's put to death. So asks Rav Ada to Rava, why don't you make a gzera shava of chilul between serving in the Beis Hamikdash as an onein and consumption of truma in a state of tuma? And we'll say ma'alahalan b'misa, afkan b'misa, just like if the kohen chas v'shalom eats truma in a state of tuma, so there's a din misa. So too, if the kohen is makriv onein, it should also be a din of misa. To which the Gemara says, miksid ve'gufei michlava kasi. To which the Gemara says, first of all, understand, the pasuk doesn't explicitly discuss a kohen who is makriv onein. The pasuk doesn't explicitly discuss a kohen who is who's doing the avodah in a state of aniyos. Rather, again, what is the pasuk talking about? Or who is the pasuk talking about? A Kohen Gadol. A Kohen Gadol. I noticed that when there's breakfast, the response time slows down. I don't know if it's a thing in people's mouths are full, or it's maybe the mind are distracted. All right. They say "Men kemach ain't Torah," but they have to make sure that the kemach doesn't distract. So we'll say. So remember again. So at the end of the day, what Gemara is pointing out over here is the following: is the idea that the pasuk is talking about a Kohen Gadol, and the pasuk's telling me that a Kohen Gadol does not leave the Beis Hamikdash even in a state of aninus. Even in a state of aninus, we infer from that a Kohen Hedyot, a regular Kohen, does leave the Beis Hamikdash in a state of aninus, and if he doesn't leave when he is in a state of aninus, then what? Then he's in violation of Allah. The Gemara says, because the pasuk is not explicitly speaking about a regular Kohen, you can't make a gzir shava of chilul to truma, to go ahead and then arrive at the conclusion that if a Kohen goes in, is makriv name, that he gets misa. So the Gemara says, v'chol davar haba minaklal in don also b'gzir shava. So it's actually a very important exegetical discussion. The only time you can make a gzir shava is between two things that are explicitly discussed in the pasuk. When you have something that is not explicitly discussed in the pasuk, but rather is learned by inference from the pasuk, you cannot make a gzir shava from that to something else. So because we're learning out that a Kohen Hedyot can't be makriv owning, we are inferring that from we're learning it out from the pasuk that says that a Kohen Gadol is makriv owning, but because it's only learned by inference, you can't make a gzir shava from it to truma. So obviously, the pasuk says, I'm sorry, I just skipped. Yoshef minalav. So we'll say fine. So now we've established that a Kohen can't go and be makriv orel. Kohen can't be makriv owning. What about Yoshef? What about the idea that a Kohen should not do the avodah sitting down, and if he does so, he is in violation of Allah. So Yoshef minalav. Amar Rava, Amar Rav Nachman, Amar Kra. The pasuk says, Kivo b'achar Hashem lokecha mikol shvatecha la'amod. So what does the pasuk say? The Ribbon Shalom has chosen him, a reference ultimately again to Aaron a Kohen, to the Kohanim, to go ahead and serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, la'amod l'sharis, to stand and to serve. What do we dash from there? La'amida b'achartiv v'lo yili yeshiva. That Daf Rabbi said the Kohen was chosen to serve in a state of amida, a state of standing, and not in a state of sitting. Balmum. What about Rabbi say if the Kohen is a balmum? How do I know that if he does the avodah, ultimately again there's a lot? So excuse me, let me say it differently. Balmum. What is the punishment if a Kohen balmum does the avodah? Well, it's interesting halacha. So remember again, we're not going to get into right now what qualifies as a mum, but suffice it to say that Kohen has a type of blemish that would render him unfit to do the avodah. Let's say he does the avodah anyway. What's the penalty? Rabbi Omer b'misa. Rabbi says ultimately again that he's put to death. The Chachamim moment ba'ashara, and the Chachamim say it's a lot. So we'll say, what's the nature of this machlokes? My time with Rabbi. Why does Rabbi say that it's a din of misa? So the Gemara says, "Dechsiv ach el aparoches lo yavo," because the pasuk says that he shall not come to the paroches. Now the rest of the pasuk is ach el aparoches lo yavo ve'al mizbeach lo yigash kimum bo. So Baal Mum is not permitted to come to the paroches, not permitted to come to the mizbeach. Lo ve'lo yichalel es mikdoshai. And the pasuk says, "He shall not profane my mikdash." Now watch this. The yalif chilul mitruma, and make a gzir shava between Baal Mum and between a Kohen who eats truma in a state of tuma. Ma'ala alan b'misa. Just like if a Kohen goes ahead and eats truma in a state of tuma, there's a din misa. Afkan b'misa. So to over here, the Kohen is going to be put to death. The Baal Mum. So v'neilef chilul minosar. Why do we learn out again? Why do we make a gzir shava of chilul to nosar? So let's remember again, nosar refers to a carbon that is left beyond its permitted windows. Remember again, different carbonos have different permitted windows of consumption. So nosar is the din, nosar is the status of meat after it's left beyond this permitted window of consumption. So why don't you make a gzir shava of chilul to nosar and say the following: Ma'alalan b'kares, afkan b'kares. To say just like if you consume nosar, there is a din of kares. So too again, if a Baal Mum does the avodah, there should also be a din of kares. To which the Gemara says no. Nistabra mitruma havileila melef. The truth is, remember again, just what we're trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out what is the punishment for a Kohen Bal Mum who does avoda. So Rebbe is saying that it's a din of Misa. The Gemara is learning it. So the Gemara said Rebbe learns that out from where Gzira Shava to Truma. Just like if a Kohen who's Tameh eats Truma, there's a din of Misa. So too if a Bal Mum does the avoda, there's a din of Misa. Gzira Shava Chilo Chilo. One second. We find the same word Chilo by Nosar. And say just like if a Kohen consumes Nosar, there's a din of Kares. So too if a Bal Mum does the avoda, it's a din of Kares as well. To which the Gemara says, I'll tell you why we don't want to do that. It makes more sense to learn out the din of Bal Mum from the din of a Kohen who's Tameh who consumes Truma. Why? Shekain pas psul haguf mi psul haguf. Because they're both saying the common denominator between a Bal Mum and a Kohen who's Tameh who eats Truma is that they both have what's called psul haguf. They both say the disqualification is inherent within them. In the case of a Bal Mum, he has a Mum. In the case of a Kohen who is Tameh, he is Tameh. The Tumah is in his guf. So it makes more sense to learn out Psul Guf from Psul Guf, so the Gemara says, as opposed to Nosar. And we'll say, what's the din of Nosar? Nosar is not a din of the Kohen. What is Nosar a din in? It's a din in the Karban, in the sacrificial meat. So the Gemara says the opposite. Adrabah, Minosar Havele Lemelef. I could have made the argument that it would have been thrown out from Nosar. Why? Shekin Kodesh Pinim Pigol Vinosar. Because if I say ultimately again, Nosar is Kodesh. It's offered Pnim, it was offered on the inside. It has the ability to become Pigol and ultimately Nosar. So both the idea the Gemara is suggesting over here is that Bal Mum shares more qualities or more characteristics with Nosar than ultimately again it does with Truma. Ella, so the Gemara says, Ella mitame sheshimish kama. So rather Rabbi Gemara says, you're right, instead we're going to learn out of Bal Mum from a Kohen who is Tameh, who ultimately does the avoda. So the Gemara says, because in this case, then we have Psul Haguf, Mi Psul Haguf, Kodesh, Pnim, Pigol, Vinosar. So both say a Kohen who serves in a Tameh status has all of these different qualities, and therefore we can learn out Mi Kodesh, Pnim, Pigol, Vinosar. So we'll say ultimately, again, Rabbi is not changing his tune a little bit. He's going to learn out the din of Bal Mum from the din of a Kohen who is Tameh who does the avoda. Just like if a Kohen who does the avoda, who is Tameh, does the avoda, there's a Chiv Misa. So too, if a Bal Mum does the avoda, there's also a Chiv Misa. V'Rabbanan. So we'll say, where did I remember again? The Rabbanan learn that. The Rabbanan say that a Kohen who's a Bal Mum is in violation of a law. Where did the Rabbanan get this from? V'Rabbanan. Amakra bo v'lo Bal Mum. We'll say because the Rabbanan will say bo, that is dafka again. The pasuk says v'shamras mishmarti v'lo yisu alav balchet u'mesu bo ki yechalaluhu. It's only the Kohen who is Tameh. We will say ultimately warrants a death penalty, but not a Bal Mum. It's bo. Dafka Kohen who is Tameh warrants a death penalty, but a Kohen who is a Bal Mum does not. So the Gemara says, Hazid b'meila. We will say, what happens if a person intentionally goes ahead and misappropriates? I'm sorry. Bo v'lo Bal Mum. Hazid b'meila. So we'll say, what happens again in this case if a person intentionally misappropriates based on Mikdash property? Rabbi Omer the Misa. Rabbi says again, it's a din Misa. The Chachamim say ba'ashara. It's a lav. My time with the Rabbi. So what's Rabbi's logic? Rabbi Avo Gomer Chet Mitruma. He makes a gzir shav of Chet from Truma Tmeya. That if a Tamei Kohen intentionally eats Truma, Ma'alan b'Misa Kam Misa. So just like I was saying in the case of Truma Tmeya, when I say Truma Tmeya, what I mean is a Kohen who is Tamei consumes Truma. There's a din Misa. So to Aviyar, a person who intentionally misappropriates based on Mikdash property, will also have a din of Misa. So the Gemara says, Rabbanan Amri, Amakra Bo v'lo b'meila. Therefore, I get over and say, the Rabbanan say, no. Dafka, the din of a Kohen who does avoda while he is Tameh, is Dafka learned that from the pasuk. But that Bo means that the din Misa applies to him, but not by someone who intentionally engages in Meila. Okay, Zar Sheshimish b'Mikdash. So let's remember again, the last case we had in the Mishnah was a non-Kohen who went ahead and did the avoda in the Beis Hamikdash, in the Brisa, I should say. So it says the Gemara Tanya, Rabbi Shmuel Omer, Ne'emar kan v'azar hakarev yumas. It says over here that the stranger, which refers to the non-Kohen who comes to do the avoda, will be put to death. Ne'emar lalon, kol hakarev al mishkan Hashem yumas. Ma lahalon b'dei shemayim. So we'll say the Rabbanan hold, which is Rabbi Shmuel says, that it's true that a Zar who does the Avod in the Beis HaMikdash it is true he is put to death. But what type of death? I will say, Misa bidei shamayim. Beis Din will not execute him. He is killed at the hands of heaven. Rabbi Kiva says no. Ne'emar kan v'azar karev yumas v'ne'emar lahalon v'hanovi ahu o cholem hachalom hahu yumas. So we'll say, listen to this. So Rabbi Kiva on the other hand says, it says over here, v'azar karev yumas, a non-Kohen does the avodah put to death, and it says, I will say, by a navi. This is by a navi sheker, that the navi sheker or cholem will be put to death. Malahalon b'skila, afkan b'skila. So what Rabbi Kiva essentially makes it gzer shava between navi sheker and a zar who does the avodah. Just like a navi sheker is put to death by skila, so too the zar who does the avodah is put to death by skila. On the other hand, Rabbi Shmuel learns it out. Rabbi Shmuel learns it out from Kalakarev El Mishkan Hashem Yumas. So we'll say, now remember, this is in the aftermath of Korach. So this is talking about the idea that if a non-Kohen comes into the precincts of the Mishkan, he is put to death. Now, how is he put to death? It's Misi with the Yeshana. So we'll say, so in the Machlokes over here, here's everybody agrees that a non-Kohen who comes to do the avodah is put to death. What's the Machlokes? Rabbi Shmuel says Bidei Shamayim. Rabbi Akiva says Skila. Rabbi Shmuel says Bidei Shamayim because he makes a gzer shava between the Zar and just the Stam Yisrael who comes into the confines of the Beis HaMikdash. The same way that a Stam Yisrael comes into the confines of the Beis HaMikdash is put to death, Bidei Shamayim, so to the Zar does the avodah is put to death as well. Rabbi Shmuel learns it out from a gzer shava to a navi sheker. Just like the navi sheker is put to death through skila, so to the Zar who comes to do the avodah is put to death through skila. So says the Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri says, 1 second, Ma lahalan bechenek, afkan bechenek. So Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri holds that a navi sheker is actually put to death with chenek. So just like the navi sheker is put to death with chenek, so too what? So too again, the Zar does the avodah is also put to death with chenek. But my come if we get Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Akiva. So we'll say, what are Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Akiva arguing about? We'll say first wide line, pay dalad amadalef. Rabbi Akiva savar done in yumas mi yumas, ve'in done in yumas mi yamos. So we'll say Rabbi Akiva says, even though again we'll say generally when making a gzer shava, you don't necessarily need the exact word. You pretty much need the same shoresh. But Rabbi Akiva says, if we have a choice, we would rather use the exact words. Therefore, we'd rather learn out yumas from yumas and not yumas from yamos. So we'll say the word yumas appears by zar, and the word yumas appears by navi sheker, as opposed to in the aftermath of Korach when it talks about just a stam Yisrael, what we call a hedyot, coming into the confines of the Beis HaMikdash. The lashon is yamos. Rabbi Shmuel says no, done in hedyot me hedyot, vein done in hedyot mi navi. We'll say listen to this. Rabbi Shmuel on the hand says, we'll say listen to this. Rabbi Shmuel says we're trying to learn out what's the din of a zar, a non-Kohen who does the avodah. So let's learn out hedyot from hedyot. Let's learn out the halachos of a non-Kohen who does the avodah from the general prohibition of a non-Kohen to enter into the precincts of the Beis HaMikdash, or the Mishkan. But let's not learn out hedyot from navi. Why would you learn out to say the din of a zar from the din of a navi sheker? We'll say, watch this. Rabbi Kiva holds, kevan she'ediach ein lecha hedyot gadol mizeh. They will say, once you have someone who goes in and violates the word of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and actively tries to get others to follow suit, ein lecha hedyot gadol mizeh. We might call him a navi. But he's not the navi, Rabbi will say. So let's remember again. Now we have another machlokes. Rabbi Akiva holds that the zar does the avodah is punished by skila, and Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri says chanek. So says, what are they arguing about? So the Gemara says, so Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, beplutu to Rabbi Shimon v'Rabbanan. They're arguing between the machlokes and Rabbi Shimon and Rabbanan. This sanya, navi she'ediach b'skila. Well, so the process is as follows: you have a navi who tries to get others to leave HaKadosh Baruch Hu to do avodah zarah. He is killed with skila. Rabbi Shimon omer bechenek, and Rabbi Shimon ultimately says that what is done through chenek. So the Gemara says, "Hanan Tanan Rabbi Kiva on chenek." But 1 second, another brayso that says that Rabbi Kiva holds that navi sheker is put to death with chenek. So what's going on? Trei Tanoi Balib Rabbi Akiva. They're both saying there is a machlokes about what Rabbi Akiva says. Masnisin Rabbi Shimon Balib Rabbi Akiva. So we'll say the Mishnah reflects the view of Rabbi Shimon according to Rabbi Akiva. Brayso Rabbanan Balib Rabbi Akiva. So we'll say there is a fundamental machlokes. Everybody agrees that of course, Tarak Dosha says that a Navi Sheker is put to death. It's a machlokes on Shitas Rabbi Akiva. Does Rabbi Akiva hold that he's put to death through Chenek or through Skila? That's a machlokes. Hadrun aloch Elohim hanisra. Both say Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. New parak. Elohim hanechnokim. Both say these are the people who are put to death through strangulation. Right? So we are, remember again, we're just going through the Arba Misos Bezdis.
Everyone's switching.
I'm sorry, everybody's switching. All right, so again, so now we'll say we go through Chanek, strangulation. The following people are put to death through strangulation. Who are they? Hamakiv Avinu. We'll say we're going to get into some really riveting sugyas today. Hamakiv Avinu. Somebody hits his parents. The Gomev Nefesh Yisrael, or a person kidnaps someone. Zakin Mamre. So we're going to go through all these cases. Zakin Mamre Abosai is a sage, one of the Chachamim, one of the members of the Sanhedrin, who refuses to accept the majority ruling of his fellow Dayanim. I'll be right. V'zakin Mamre, I'll be Bezdin. The Navi Sheker, and we'll say Navi Sheker, false prophet. V'amisnavi b'shem of others kochalim, someone who prophesies in the name of idolatry. V'habo al ish es ish, somebody who commits adultery. V'zomame bas kohen ubo Allah. And I will say, if you have false witnesses who try to execute the daughter of a Kohen, ultimately again for adultery, ubo Allah, and the man with whom she commits adultery. We're going to go through all of these cases, obviously, but all of these are punishable by chet. It says the Gemara, the Gemara says, "Maki avivi imam minalan." Some will say we're going to spend a little bit of time on hitting your parents. So how do I know that if somebody goes ahead and strikes his mother and father, from where do we know that that is punishable by chenek? Pei dalar modezer will say 5 lines into the Gemara. So how do I know it's punishable by chenek? Dichsiv, because the pasuk says "Maki aviv v'imo mos yumas." Because the pasuk says if a man strikes his mother and his father, and again we actually already had the sugya. It sounds it's not mother and father, it's mother or father. So the halacha is they're put to death. The misa ha'amura b'Torah, and I will say in general, whenever we speak about again misa ha'amura b'Torah, and any time that there's a stam death penalty brought down in the Torah, eina ela chenek. So we'll say ultimately again this refers to chenek, this refers to strangulation. So the Gemara says 1 second, ema ad dekatale mikdal. I will say maybe when the pasuk says maki aviv v'ima mos yumas, that you get chenek, maybe what that refers to is what I will say. If you kill your parent, in other words, how do you know makya aviv v'imo means just striking a parent? Maybe what the pasuk is teaching me is if I strike and kill my parent, chas v'shalom, then there's a din in chenek. Ema dekatale mikdal sakadaitcha katal chad b'sayif aviv v'imo b'chenek. Supposed to the Gemara says, I'll tell you why. If you kill a stam person, you get saif, right? Supposed to get killed by a sword. So again, we'll say now the Gemara is making the assumption right now that chenek is considered to be a lesser form, a quote unquote more lenient death penalty. So could it be that if you go ahead and you kill someone's stam, you kill a regular person, that the punishment for that is saif, and yet if you kill your parent chas v'shalom, there's going to be a lesser death penalty of chenek. So we'll say that makes sense according to opinion that says that chenek is a more lenient form of death. But again, according to the opinion who holds that chenek is a more stringent form of death, then I will say, what are you going to? In other words, what we're trying to figure out over here is we're making the assumption that makya aviv v'ima mos yumas refers to someone who strikes their parent but doesn't kill them. You must say, how do you know that? Maybe makya aviv v'ima means that if chas v'shalom you strike and kill your parent, the punishment is chenek. Ela midichsiv make ish vameis mos yumas. Because also the pasuk says, if a person strikes another and kills them, he shall be put to death. Uksiv o be'eva hiko bi'ado v'yamos. But the pasuk also says, o be'eva, if he goes ahead and he strikes him with hatred, v'yamos. Ultimately, again, he is put to and he dies. He's put to death. Shmamina kol heicha di'ika hakostam. So what the Gemara is pointing out over here is the following. The fact that the pasuk says, Make ish vames, o be'eva hikol vayamos, tells us that what Rabbi say, that the pasuk goes out of this way to say, if you hit someone and they die, which tells you what? that whenever you see the word hitting by itself, it dafka refers to what? Just hitting and not killing them. Or in other words, the fact that the Torah goes out of its way to tell you twice, if you hit someone and they died, tells us that if the pasuk just speaks about hitting someone and does not add in the additional piece of information and they died, that's what? That is dafka haka, hitting without death. Therefore, again, let's back into this. Therefore, the pasuk says, make aviv v'imo mos yumas. Make means what? Make means what? Hitting without killing. And you see from here that even just striking a parent, even if, again, it does not result in their death, you're still going to be chayiv, ultimately, again, death for striking a parent. To which the Gemara says, watch this. V'yitzrach lemichtav make ish, v'yitzrach lemichtav kol make nefesh. So listen to this. Now what the Gemara points out over here is, we really have two psukim, right? We have one pasuk that says, make ish. We have one pasuk that says, make ish v'meis mos yumas. If you strike a person and they die, you'll be put to death. And we have another pasuk that says, kol make nefesh lefi edim yirtzach esarotzeach. So we seem to have two psukim that tell us that if you strike someone and kill them, that you're put to death. Why are they both psukim? Both say, watch this. V'yitzrach lemichtav make ish, v'yitzrach lemichtav kol make nefesh. Get ready. Because if the Torah would have just said, if you strike a person and they die, hava amina ish. So it's like the pasuk would have just said maki ish. I would have thought to say, when are you chayiv me? So when? If you kill a man, the bar mitzvah. They're both saying, now again, by the way, you'll see, man does not mean to exclude woman. Man in this context actually comes to exclude a katan. I might have thought to both say that when am I chayiv a death penalty? When what? When I kill a man. What, meaning an adult? The bar mitzvah in katan lo. I might have thought to both sides that when am I chayiv for killing someone? If I killed a bar mitzvah, we'll say, you understand what the havlin in the Gemara is? We'll say life is only meaningful when you can perform mitzvahs. A life without mitzvahs, a life without Torah is a meaningless life. So the havamina of Osai is that perhaps I'm only chayiv if I kill an ish, if I kill an adult who's chayiv in mitzvahs. But if I were to kill a katan lo, if I were to kill a katan, a child who has no chayiv in mitzvahs, maybe again there's no din misa. Therefore again, kasav rachmana kol make nefesh. Therefore the pasuk has to say no, kol make nefesh. We'll say that what? That if you kill anyone, meaning at the end of the day, whether you killed an ish or whether you killed a katan, you're going to be chayiv. I said just right for kol make nefesh. Shvi kasav rachmana kol make nefesh. But if Dora would have just said that's what, if you went ahead and you killed a nefesh, I will say nefesh is a much more generic term, which would refer not only to adults but to children as well. Problem is, Dora would have just said that hava amina afilu nefalim. I would have thought that if somebody chas v'shalom kills a child in utero, I would have thought that they're chayiv misa for that. So the Gemara says afilu ben shmona. Rabbi said it's actually very interesting. In the eyes of Chazan, Rabbi said this is just reflective of the times. A child who was born in the 8th month of pregnancy was not going to survive. When Chazal says something like that, that was just the metzias. That was the reality they lived with. So whatever the circumstances were. So I would have thought that if I kill a child in utero, or if I kill a child born after 8 months of pregnancy, which is considered to be a non-viable child, I might have thought again that I'd be chayiv misa as well. Therefore, I both say tzrichi. So therefore, I both say I need ultimately both psukim. So makit nefesh teaches me that I'm chayiv misa even if I kill a child, and maki ish teaches me that I say only chayiv if I kill what? A viable human being. But if I kill a child in utero, or I kill a child who was born after 8 months of pregnancy, again, it's usher. It's obviously usher, but I'm not going to be chayiv misa in those cases. The ema. Boss, get ready for this. This is where it gets really exciting. Now, here's what we've established. What have we established? We'll say, what have we established? Mamish, it's incredible how, again, what time did we start the show this morning? 35? 8:35. Again, your life could change, Mamish, in under 30 minutes. Under 30 minutes, the world is so different. So look what we've established. We've established that if Chas Shem, you hit your parents, you're chayiv misa, right? Even if you don't kill them. Now, both say, based on this, I would have thought the following. Now, both say, under normal circumstances, let's say just stomach case, you hit someone. I go over to him and I hit him. Am I chayiv for hitting him? So we'll say the halacha is not unless it causes a chabura. It's got to cause some type of injury, right? A bruise, a broken limb, something. So I would think the following: maybe for a parent is different, and maybe for a parent the halacha is afagav the law of it bechabura. Maybe Rabbi Shmuel, based on what we've established, maybe I am chayiv ultimately for what? Maybe I am chayiv for injuring my parent, even if I didn't cause a chabura. Allah, so we'll say, but why is it saying the brayso? If I hit my parent chas v'shalom, I'm not chayiv unless, of course, I cause a chabura, I cause an injury. We'll say, so again, injury means something that you could see. It could be a bruise, it could be a black and blue mark, it could be a broken limb. But if I just go over to my parent and I hit them, but there's no injury associated with that, I'm not chayiv misa. Again, it's still usher. I'm not chayiv misa. So we'll say, so yeah, I would have thought, based on what we learned, I'm chayiv for just striking a parent altogether, even if it didn't make a chabura, but yet we learned alamatanan hamaki ava v'imo eno chayiv ad shi'asa ban chabura. We learned in a brayso that what? I'm not chayiv for striking my parent unless, of course, I caused an injury. Amakra. Where do I learn that from? Amakra makya odem umakya behema. Because we'll say, interestingly enough, the Torah equates injuring a person, injuring an animal. Ma makya behema. So we'll say, by injuring an animal, I'm only chayiv if I cause a chabura. If I cause a chabura, sorry, ma makya behema ad avid chabura dichsiv ba nefesh af makya adam ad avid chabura. We'll say, so too again, I'm only chayiv for injuring a person, and in this case a parent, if I cause a chabura. Maskif the Rabbi Yirmiyah raised the kasha ela me'ato echisha ba'avon hachanamid lo mechayiv. So we'll say, listen to this case. What happens if I take my friend's animal and I overload it with stones? So we'll say, I injure the animal, but interestingly enough, I injure him in a way that's what? There's no chabura. In other words, I will say, I've clearly weakened the animal. I've injured the animal, but lav dafka that there's a bruise. Lav dafka. So I would have thought that in that case, again, I'm not chayiv. Now, both said, we know in that case, you are chayiv. So what do you see? You see that you could be chayiv for injuring an animal, even without what? Even with causing an actual observable injury. Oh, thank you. Right, visible injury. You don't have to grunt it out. You can say yes, right? So even without the visible injury. So we'll say, so now again, based on that, so we'll say again, now we've already established with an animal itself, even if I don't cause a visible or observable injury, I'm chayiv for causing an injury that weakens the animal. So it's nearly in your nefesh adam. So we'll say, so what do I need? Ultimately, the hekesh. So what does the hekesh between adam and behema help me with? Watch this. The chidisanya. So we'll say the chidisanya to bechizkiah. So we'll say that hekesh helps me for the teaching of the bechizkiah. So when we had the teaching of the Bechizkiah last week. So we'll say the Bechizkiah taught us this very interesting yesod, which is that any time that if you were to do something intentionally and there'd be a chiyuv misa, you would be pater from paying mamon. The Bechizkiah says that even if you do that same act unintentionally, inadvertently, you're still going to be pater from mamon. So hani chalaman deslei the betan the Bechizkiah. So we'll say that's fine if you subscribe to that idea. But if you don't subscribe to that idea, then what does Dakish teach me? I will say, get ready for this. Because this has incredible halacha l'mais ramifications. Ma make behema l'refua pater, af make adam l'refua pater. So we'll say, so what happens? Right. So what happens? Just like what? If you go ahead and you injure an animal for refuah purposes, you are pater. So too, if you go ahead and you injure a person for refuah purposes, then what? I'm going to be pater. Now, what does this mean? Well, this is an incredible yesod. I go to the doctor, and what happens? So I go. We have like the whole dental table over there, right? So I go ahead and I have my tooth pulled out, and the dentist does his job, and then what happens to both sides? I say, thank you very much. He presents me with his bill, and what do? I say, allow me to present you with my bill, right? There's tsar, there's boshes, there's ripui. You injured me, pulled out my tooth. Now my whole mouth is swollen. My wife doesn't like the way I look. My kids no longer respect me. I'm not getting after Yona anymore. Right? All because of all these things. So you thought you were doing me a favor, but you injured me. So I say, how do we know that the halacha is that in the event that you injure someone in the course of healing them, that you are not chayiv? Ultimately, again, in that case, so the Gemara says that's learned out to both say from the hekesh between Adam and Behema. Just like if I injure someone's animal in the course of administering healing, I am not chayiv for damages. So to again, both sides by Adam as well. If I end up injuring someone in the context of healing them, I am not chayiv for damages. Both say, get ready for this. And here's where it becomes dramatically amazing. It's been amazing up until now, and it's been dramatic until now. Now it gets dramatically amazing. The boilu, both say, there's actually very halacha l'maisa. Ben mahu shiyaki's dam la'adar. Both say this shaila comes up all the time, not with bloodletting, but in other contexts. Shaila is a son permitted to do bloodletting for his father? The Gemara is really asking here is the following: parent is elderly and dependent. Parent needs some type of medicinal treatment. That needs a shot, whatever it is, but it causes the father to bleed. So Rabosai, is a son allowed to go ahead and do something for a father that causes him to bleed? Now, Rabosai, causing someone to bleed is called what? It's called the chabura. Injuring your father is a chiv misa, as we've established. But what about, again, if the chabura is for the purpose of healing? The chabura is for the purpose of refuah. So can a son go ahead and do something to his father that causes his father to bleed, but Rabbi says it didn't refuah? So it's this, Rabbi say, hear the shaila. Hear the shaila. It's a real shaila. So Rav Masna Amar, v'yahavta l're'acha kamocha. So listen to this. Rav Masna says, of course you can do it. What's the shaila? What's the shaila? V'yahavta l're'acha kamocha. Someone needs medicinal healing. Someone needs refuah. Of course, you could go in and do it for them. Rav Dimi bar Chinana Amar Maki Adam Maki Behema Ma Maki Behema l'refuah pater Av Maki Adam l'refuah pater. So just like again, if somebody injures an animal for the purpose of refuah, he's pater. So to Rabbi say, if you go ahead and you do it for a person, you're pater as well. Now, now understand something. What's the chiluk between these two approaches of Rav Masna and Rav Dimi? Right? So Rabbi say, understand. See, Rav Masna is saying, "V'yahavta l're'acha kamocha" tells you what? It's a mitzvah to do it. It's a mitzvah to do it. I will say, if you want to be a little bit medayik over here, I know it's definitely we don't want to be so medayik, but if you want to be a little bit medayik, so I will say, understand, that's Rav Masna saying "V'yahavta l're'acha kamocha." Rav Dimi is saying that's what? You're pater. Rav Dimi is saying you're pater. Now I will say, what does pater mean? Right? Pater means that if you did it, it's not called causing your father a chabura, which is kamachiv of misa. Is Rav Dimi saying that I should do it? He's saying I should do it? Quite possible not. Quite possible that Rav Dimi is saying, listen, if you have to do it, of course you're covered. But it could very well be that it is much better for a son not to do something that is going to cause his father to bleed. So both of them are saying that there is no chiv misa if you cause your parent to bleed in the context of administering refuah. But whereas Rav Masna said, v'yahavta l're'acha kamocha, it's mamish mitzvah, Rav Dimi is saying, you're certainly not chayiv misa, so you're not a chabura. Should you do it? Probably much better not. Which Rabbi say then is the next leading. Watch this. Rabbi say, get ready for this. Rav lo shavik lebrei lemishka le silu would not allow his son to remove a splinter from his hand. So Rav would not allow his son to remove a splinter from the father's hand. Why not, Rabbi say? Why not? Because it could cause him to bleed. It's refuah. It's not a chabura. So Rabbi say, you see over here that really we're beginning to accept Rav Dimi's approach. That although if the son needs to do it, he can do it, he has a license to do it, but nevertheless, again, it's preferable for a son not to cause his father to bleed. So we'll say, listen to this. Marbri Dravina. So Mar, the son of Ravina, lo shavik librei, lemiftach le kavsa. So Marbri Dravina would not allow his son, we'll say, lemiftach le kavsa literally means like to open up a boil. Right, to open, I guess in order for the boil to go ahead and dry it, you have to open it up. So he wouldn't allow his son to do that. Why? Because see, here's what's interesting with the boil. The boil also, when you open up the boil, so the pus comes out. But I guess you also have to press the boil a little bit. So it's possible that if you press it enough, not only pus comes out, but what? Blood begins to come out as well. So to let the pus out is fine. What Rabbi Ravina was concerned about was that maybe someone's going to press on the boil a bit too much and what? Cause him to bleed. So I will say, if that's the case, maybe shigagas isser. And ultimately, again, this would be, again, an unintentional isser. So I will say, if that's the case, I don't understand, then Rabbi Ravina shouldn't have let anyone go ahead and open up his boil wine, because to cause someone to bleed for anyone is usher. I was supposed to say that's called injuring another person, to which the Gemara says, Acher shigagas lav, bino shigagas chene. So I will say, at the end of the day, if someone else does it, it's the shogeg of a lav. If the son does it, it's a shogeg ultimately again of chenek. Right? So we'll say ultimately again of injuring a parent. So we'll say, so you begin to see that what? Well, actually, we'll finish the sugya, then I'll tell you the rest of it. But that which we learned, mechet shal yad litol ba'asakotz, v'leichosh dilma chavilei. So let's actually know we'll read one more line. But we'll say that which we learned, machat shal yad litol ba'asakotz. So we'll say that what? That on Shabbos you can take a machat shal. We'll say so. Machat shal yad. Rashi says over here is he machat kitana. This is a regular sewing needle. Shetovrin bo begodim. Nitelos b'Shabbos litol ba'asakotz. Umishum diktani lahalon b'Masech Shabbos perikalakilim gabi b'shal saka and lift off ba'asadelas. Carly like fine. So what I say the idea over here is on Shabbos you can take a needle in order to go ahead and remove a splinter. I lechosh dilma chavil. We'll say, why don't we be concerned that in the course of taking out the splinter, what's going to happen? You're going to end up injuring the person, causing them to bleed. And I will say, causing someone to bleed on Shabbos is one of the 39 malachos of shechita. We'll say this would be an unintentional act that, if done intentionally, would warrant skila. Hasamakalkil. We'll say the difference over there is that even if you cause someone to bleed, that's called kilkul. That's called makalkil. In other words, we'll say my intention is not for the blood. Right? My intention, right? It would be kilkul. Hanichlamandar makalkil pater. So we'll say that makes sense. According to Rabbi says the makalkel is potter. Elamandar makalkel chayiv meikel meimar. Rabbi says according to Rabbi says that on Shabbos, even if it's makalkel, you're chayiv. What is there to say? Man Shabbos sedam makalkel chabura chayiv. Rabbi says who is the one who says that even if you're makalkel by a chabura, ultimately again you're chayiv? That's Rabbi Shimon. We'll say that is Rabbi Shimon. Top of pehei. For Rabbi Shimon, Sigmar says for Rabbi Shimon, ha'amar kol malacha shenetzricha legufa patra. Rabbi Shimon also holds that any malacha shenetzricha legufa, which means any malacha rabosai that you are not doing it for the intended purpose of the malacha, you're going to be part. Therefore, again, rabosai, the malacha of shechita is only usher if what? Either if A, you want the death of the item, or B, you want the blood. But in this case over here, where neither are true, therefore even Rabbi Shimon would say that you could take out the splinter. Now, taking out the splinter on Shabbos is a different discussion, which we'll discuss a little bit more tomorrow. But Avosai, bottom line for our purpose is today, this yields a very hard halacha l'maisa. Let's say a child is a caregiver for a parent, and the parent needs some type of healing, or a child is a physician, and the parent wants to go in and come to the child for some type of just treatment. So we'll say, what is the halacha? Should a child? So we'll say the halacha seems to be that it is preferable for a child not to do anything to a parent that would cause the parent to bleed. It's very important to say. However, again, if the child, of course, is the only one there, or if for some other reason the parent dafka wants the child, this comes up often in cases where a parent is diabetic and there's a need to constantly check blood sugar, or now they have other types of devices, they have to do it as good, or whatever, the parent needs constant people. So where there would be an incredible difficulty for the parent to constantly have to get someone else to take care of these things, so the child can absolutely do it, or the child or the parent needs a particular type of procedure, and the child feels most comfortable with their child doing it. So in those cases, again, it is permitted. But in a vacuum of Osai, if there is a choice between the child causing the parent to bleed, again, even b'derech refuah, or allowing someone else to do it, it is much better for the child to be able to give it over to someone else. Again, if the parent has an insistence that they dafka want the child to do it, or there's some other specific issue in which the child is most suited to, and the child, of course, can do it, even if the child causes the parent to bleed. It's not chas v'shalom a chabura, because since it's derech refuah, since it's for medicinal purposes, it's not called makeh aviv v'imo. The child, of course, will not be chayiv misa, of course, for it. But again, if at all possible for the child to not have to cause the parent to bleed, that is certainly halachically preferable.